another tool review. This full bore compressor. I think they've changed the model of this since, but if I was going to buy one of these again, one of these cheap ones, now it's meant to have an air filter on here, which I unfortunately broke off there a wee while ago, but it's got one on the other side. They've only got like a foam, a real coarse foam air filter on it. Now it's now blowing a bit of oil through the lines and shit, and I think it's because when I was sandblasting, it was the air cleaner on this was nowhere near good enough to restrict or stop the sand dust from going back through it. So it's probably not a bad little compressor, but it's blowing oil through the lines. I would say, not as well as, well, not how you would like it. That's why I've got that secondary tank on there, and it stops it coming through to the gun when I've run through that little system. But for running a line off here, it's oiling up quite quick. So, like, if I got one, I'd hunt for some decent filters to screw into them. I think that's probably the biggest killer of these cheap air compressors. Like, if I got another one just at home, maybe something a little bit bigger, it'll be the first thing I'd throw away and see if I can find some decent bloody air filters for them. Because I've heard of a few people having problems with them. Not just this brand, but other cheap brands. You think, oh, my frickin' compressor's blowing oil, or it's doing this, or it's doing that. But I think that's what it is. The air filters in them are just shit. Actually, I'll see if I'll pause this and see if I can pull that one out, and I'll show you what I mean. Alrighty, so this is the air filter off the other side. Now you look at that when it focuses and tell me how much shit that is going to stop being a gauze like that for an air filter. Like, why they have put it like, I know that's probably okay, like they use these sorts of things on lawnmowers too, and it sits in here, and then obviously it draws the air through here into the motor and then sucks the air in through this, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem to do the job. Like, I can imagine there's a lot of shit getting in there, as you can see. It was inside the motor. It's obviously getting a few breathing problems now, but I'm getting a bit wheezy, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend filters like this. If somebody's got a decent bloody filter that, well, either it's got this thread on it or fit in there, I would replace them if you're going to buy one of these like full bore or other cheap brand computers. Like, I don't know, I've seen dozens of different brands over here through all the different parts stores. This again was from Bunnings, and it wasn't terribly bloody cheap either. Like, it wasn't $100 or a couple of $100. It was about, I think it was about $300 or $400. Because I tried to get something with a decent, with twin cylinders and decent capacity, or half by decent capacity to run what I wanted to do with it. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend keeping these filters. If there's a decent half by decent paper filter or something like that's a bit more like an air cleaner, or just something better than that, because that was crap. And I think that's what's half killed this thing. When I was doing all that sandblasting underneath the car around the back, trying to clean up that boot floor and all that area earlier on, and some of the pieces I fixed up in it, it's made it breathe very heavy now. Alrighty guys, so that's my review on the full bore air compressor.